Hey, thank you so much for checking out today's Student Spotlight. Today is another special one because it's not just a student spotlight, but it's a senior spotlight. So I can't wait for you to hear this conversation that I got to have with Abbie Hommerding about life, just a little bit of her story and how God has seen her through a tough situation. So go ahead and check out the video. All right, what is up, Abbie? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good on a sunny day, sort of.
It is it is actually beautiful outside today. When we're recording this, it's sunny and 70. Like my dream place to be. If I could live somewhere where it was sunny and 70, actually, I love the clouds and rain. But if it was 70 degrees, I'm cool with that. I'm really cool with that. So anyway, hey, I want to start off today. What people don't know about today, this is a very special one because it's a student spotlight, it's a senior spotlight, but it's also what most people don't know. It's a sibling spotlight for me because they don't know that I was adopted into your family, making me your adopted brother. And so this is an extra special student, senior, sibling spotlight. And so we're just excited. But I have, I think, 5 questions. I don't want you to put a lot of thought into these. I literally just want you to answer them boom, 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 right off the top of your head. And so the first one is this, and this is all time favorite movie.
Probably Up. It's my favorite movie.
Oh, favorite? I picked this one specifically for you because I know you're such a foodie. Your favorite food?
Sushi. I love
I,
sushi. So
I guess sushi. I totally thought you were going to say sushi. Yes. Favorite band?
that's a hard one for me. It depends on my mood. I'm a country person though, so like
Luke
any
Bryan?
Luke Bryan, Combs, Jordan Davis, stuff like that. Yeah.
You said you know, and I'm like, no, I don't know. Luke Bryan's the only country person I know. Oh gosh. Are you more of an indoor or an outdoor person?
I would say both. I like being outside, but I also have a lot of things inside that I like to do. So
So if you had to choose, if you could only live in one, you're like, I'm gonna live outdoors. I'm gonna sleep outdoors. I mean, you could sleep in a hut or something. You would still. What would you choose?
probably outdoors.
Okay, fair enough. The most important question, of course, dog or cat person?
Dog. I have 3 dogs.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, you do have 3 dogs. At one point, you had what? 8 dogs. Then you sold some of them.
Yeah, our puppies.
Yeah, I just saw you posted that picture. Was it yesterday? Or a
Sunday
couple?
was our first litter's birthday for like their third birthday, I think.
Crazy. It still blows my mind that Yorkies, even though your Yorkies are gray, right? They're like a gray tan. They come out brown or black.
Black, like jet black.
It kills me. I'm like, how do they transform? Like, I don't know, whatever. Okay, cool. Well, that was fun. I have now a series of questions that you kind of know a little bit about, but go ahead and tell anybody who's watching, where are you from? What high school did you go to? Where did you graduate from this year now that you're a senior that's graduated early due to unordinary circumstances?
So I mean, technically, I was like born in Ohio, but I'm not really from there.
Ooh, don't claim that. Yeah, don't claim that.
Oh, I lived in Athens for a little bit, but then in fourth grade we moved, and so now I've been in Battle Creek the rest of my life, and I'm
Athens, Greece? No, I'm just playing. That's probably the most stupid joke that everybody who's born in Athens gets from people who don't live there.
there's also in Athens, Ohio, I think. So I mean, yeah. Um, and then Lakeview is where I'm graduating from.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what are your future plans next year now that you're graduating?
So Lakeview has this like legacy scholarship. So I will be going to KCC for 2 years, most likely for a business degree. That's my
Business. Because what maybe you don't know about Abby either is she's an entrepreneur. She already has her own business. Maybe now would be a good time, Abby. Do you have any elderberry sitting around you to advertise?
it's downstairs.
You could have advertised hardcore right there, or I could have. Are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm just playing.
Hey,
Um, it fends off corona. It fends off the seasonal flu. It fends off things like depression and anxiety. It is the magic elder. Okay, I don't know that it does that, but we can pretend it does. So KCC next year. What are some of your hobbies? What do you enjoy? You like being indoors and outdoors. So what are your hobbies in both?
I love traveling or like randomly going on adventures. That's like my main thing that I love to do. I do different art things, and I'm an antique collector, and not a lot of people know that now. I feel like I used to talk about it all the time, but not a lot of people know that I go to antique stores and collect random things.
So what has been your favorite place that you've traveled to? If you like traveling, where's been your favorite place you've been?
That's hard. I loved El Salvador. That was a really good, like the 2 trips that I've gone on, because it's like so beautiful there. But honestly, like Redding, California, where Xander's at right now, has like beautiful mountains and like waterfalls we went to. So I
If
really
I
like that.
could, I would love to wake up to mountains every day, like to live in the mountains in the redwood forest of California. I don't know if there's mountains and redwoods, but if there were such a thing,
It's a little drive to the redwoods, but
yeah. And then what do you specifically collect that's antique? Just anything or?
I collect antique cameras. That's my main focus, but I have random antique bottles. I have sewing machines and typewriters and all of the above.
Have you found anything at an antique store that you feel like is worth a lot of money? Like you're like, ooh, this was a good find.
Yeah, I have a movie projector, actually, like an old movie projector. We're thinking 1960s, 70s ish. I
Wow.
don't know for sure. That's really expensive.
Wow. That's so awesome. All right. Well, now that we know a little bit about you, Abbie, you're an antique collector. You're a travel, like if you could travel full time, is that what you would do?
That's my goal, honestly, is to like start my own business, like have a lot of money, and then like just start traveling everywhere.
Travel everywhere. What's your number one destination? Like where's like the place you, if your dreams could come true, you would go there?
I really want to like take a trip around Italy and just like go everywhere, like
Italy.
Greece or any like those type of places.
I don't know what mine would be. I honestly, I think the like Norway, just because we know somebody who lives in Norway and they like what she describes it sounds like mountains and lakes and fishing and it just sounds incredible. But I mean, I think Hawaii would be cool. I'm a big island fan. I love islands. Yeah, I don't know where I would go because I don't put much thought into it. Europe would be cool. I mean, China would probably be cool. Maybe like a oh, I think I'm a big city person. If I could live anywhere, I would not live in the country. I would live like in the 60th story of a huge skyscraper in a big downtown area. I think that would be so cool. So when I see pictures of like downtown Hong Kong and stuff where it's just like so populated, so crazy, I want to experience that in person, not in pictures. Or have you seen those videos where people are like uh, doing parkour and stuff off buildings, and those buildings stress me out. Or they're riding their bikes along the edge.
Would you do that parkour?
No, I'm not strong enough to do that. I would definitely fall and create a big old crater in the earth in Hong Kong. They'd be like, the U.S. just shot a bomb, and be like, no, that was just Donovan falling from a skyscraper. um, but anyway, let's move to something spiritual because yeah, because we don't need to talk about me being a meteor falling from the sky. So we kind of were talking, and one of the questions I just like to hear people answer is how has God carried you through or helped you through a hard season in life? And you were kind of saying, and you're like, I haven't had a ton of hard seasons, which is amazing. But obviously, right now you're smack dab in the middle of one. So if you would, could you just kind of tell us a little bit? What's this experience, the COVID-19 quarantine? What's it been like for you personally, and how have you seen, the faithfulness of God in that carry you through?
Yeah, so being a senior in like this big crisis, it's kind of weird because like all of my last day of school, my last dance is kind of like cut short, and like I didn't know it was going to be my last day.
Yeah,
Um, so it's really weird. But I'm actually like in Callahan's Bible study group, and we were talking about different things, and I know I kind of like it makes this is hard to say. Slowing down and like being stuck in one place is making me realize like I was going way too fast, and like I wasn't really reading my Bible too much or like focusing on the Lord. Like I would give him 30 minutes at the end of the night, and I'd be like, all right, this is my like God time, and that's it. Cause like that's all I could have at the moment because I had school and theater practice and yada yada yada.
yeah.
So like slowing down and like actually being able to do our 90-day Bible study, which we're almost done with. I think, yeah,
It's
like this weekend is like the last 90-day, which is crazy.
so
Um,
wild.
but like being able to sit down and actually read my Bible and stuff has been good. I think that's
Yeah.
like my main focus.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, do you feel like just having that relationship with the Lord, like since it's not like you discovered your relationship with God now, like and obviously we know, or maybe not everybody knows, but you're a pastor's kid. You've been a pastor's kid your entire life, but you're somebody who does have a relationship with the Lord, not you. It's not just association. You have a relationship with the Lord. Do you think that because of that, has that helped you, like, kind of walk through this of like, you look forward. I remember my senior year. Some people, I think we've talked about this. Some people would be so excited that their senior year got canceled, like the last. I was like you, like I was so looking forward to my last day of school, my last dance. Like you go to your senior year prom, my last baseball game, graduation parties, and it's like I couldn't imagine. Literally, I could not imagine that just being ripped out from under you in a day where they're like, "Yeah, school's canceled for the rest of the year." But do you feel like having that relationship with the Lord has given you somewhat of like, even though maybe you just feel like it's giving you a peace as you've walked through this to be like, there's a bigger picture than life is what maybe like we sometimes, really, I think sometimes we make life about the moments and specific events. And I don't think it's bad, but do you think it's given you a bigger picture and like, has the Lord helped you walk through this season?
Yeah, I definitely feel like that. Like growing up, I've always kind of looked at like the brighter side of things. Like instead of going like, oh, this is terrible for me, I'm gonna be depressed and just sit in bed all day and stuff. I go, well, what can I do next? Like,
Yeah.
what's the next thing? And I know God is always like he doesn't just do things just to do it. He has a purpose for it, and so I'm kind of waiting to see the purpose at the moment, but I know there will be a purpose, even though we can't exactly like see it yet. I think everybody's kind of like feeling there's going to be a change in life and stuff, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I love what you said even before talking about, you're like, it made me realize I was going too fast. And it's like, I think for so many people, that's been the truth of like, I mean, the fact that we've been forced to stay at home with our families. I've had more dinners with Adria in the last month than sitting at the table, just sitting there talking, than we've had in the last 2 years. Not because we don't choose to have dinner, but it's like we get busy, And so I think for a lot of people that's been so good. And I love what you said that you've actually used this time not to, because I think you can go one of two ways. You can, like I would have in high school, 100%. I would have taken this and I would have wasted so much time. I would have played so much video games. But I love that you said you've used this time to refocus and be like, hey, I'm going to press in, I'm going to dig in. Do you think, was that hard at first and has it got easier since you started that? Like was going, I'm going to read my Bible in the middle of the day, not the last 30 minutes. Was that hard at first? And now have you seen it get any easier as you went along?
I feel like it was harder at first, and then like week 3 of our quarantine, I was like, okay, now I have like an hour to 2 hours that I'll like actually like spend and just sit there. And I feel like now like this like last week and this week, since it was like rainy and kind of gloomy outside, I was like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit down and play video games because I have my
Yeah.
Switch. I can just do that. But I
Yeah.
did like kind of force myself last week to actually sit down and read.
Yeah. I think that's so good. That's just life sometimes. Sometimes you have to do the things that you don't want to because you know that it's best for you. Like, I mean, if I didn't brush my teeth, all the times that I felt like, I don't want to brush my teeth today, I'd have no teeth, like, but we do things that are good for us. So that's so good. Thank you for being vulnerable and transparent in that. I think that's great. And I think it's cool just to hear you say that, like, there's something coming of this. We don't see it yet, but I love it. I tend to be an optimist too. I'm not a pessimist. Like I don't look at life half empty. I'm definitely half full. So immediately when bad things happen to me, I'm the same way. I'm like, okay, I don't know why God's doing this. I don't know, or why God's allowing this. I don't know what's happening, but I think he's going to do something good with it because that's the nature of God. So that's so good. Um, so what advice, and I think seniors, especially this year, can give a unique perspective to students who are younger than them because you guys have literally just had your dreams, like for some people, like boom, pulled out from underneath you, like we said. What advice would you give to younger refuge students, younger kids who are going through life? Like, what would you tell them now that you've went through school, you're gonna graduate? It's not that you're not graduating, but it's not gonna look the same. What would you tell younger students as it pertains to life, and it pertains even to plugging in at church or getting connected or growing in their relationship with God?
I can say as like an introvert like myself, go out and like actually talk to people, go to youth group, even if you like don't know a lot of people, try and like make friends. Like we're all here to talk to one another, and I want to be friends with people. That's why I randomly talk to people at like youth group and stuff. I make funny jokes and stuff. But like even at school, like go up to the kid who's always like sitting alone. You could always make a friend somewhere. It's weird for me to say that because like I don't like talking to people sometimes, but definitely like join in activities. Come to, if we have camp, come to camp and stuff like that.
I feel like if we have anything, go to it.
If we have things, or even come on to our Zoom chats, because I feel like we had a bunch of people coming onto them, and now it's like kind of going lower. But like definitely join on to Zoom chats.
Yeah, well, that's so good. I think, would you encourage students to appreciate the things that they have? Like maybe look at the things that they have and not complain about the things that they don't have, in light of the fact that right now, it's really easy to look at the negative, but like you said, you're an optimist. Would you encourage them with that?
I would definitely say like right now it might look bad, but I don't believe that God is like keeping us here for forever. I know there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm. And I think, have you ever complained about going to school?
Yeah, multiple times.
As soon as you were out of school for like a week, were you like, why did I complain about, like, was there a moment for you where you like, I took it for granted what it was, and now once it's gone, it's like you're like, oh crap, why did I do that?
Yeah, I definitely had senioritis. Like I didn't like my grades never stopped like being good. Like I still had like A's and B's and stuff. But like I definitely felt like senioritis and I was just not wanting to do things more. But now that like I don't have school and like no teachers are actually talking to me and saying, hey, you need to get this done, I'm like, I don't really want to.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Abbie, I'm so proud of you as your big brother. I'm so glad that my little sister isn't leaving next year, that she'll still be around, hanging out, probably helping in refuge. That's where the cool cats help out, you know? And so, anyway, I'm so proud of you. I love your attitude. I love how you've walked through this, I love just the way that you've carried yourself through disappointment. I think, honestly, I think crisis, I heard it said this way, crisis doesn't change you, it reveals you. And so I love that you actually see, because people who go through crisis, if in their heart they don't have a authentic relationship with the Lord that's content, they lose their minds and freak out. But when crisis comes, it actually reveals who we are on the inside. So I've loved seeing that as you walk through this, what I can only imagine to be one of the most difficult seasons, like you said. I love that you've just stayed positive, you've stayed optimistic, and in the face of, it's like for a while there, it was like every day there was bad news. Like, but I love just hearing you talk about how you've stayed faithful to the Lord and you've grown through this. So I'm proud of you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being transparent and vulnerable. I hope if you watch this that it encouraged you and blessed you like it did me, just having this conversation. So Abbie, we love you. I'm so proud of you. And I can't wait to see all that God has for you in the future.
Thanks.